Bills in the upper deck. There's a look inside EverBank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Another tote for Etienne. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 more on that one and another 1st down. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
This is caught. It's Cox. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Antonio Johnson makes the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Oh, it's caught. And the Bills are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Davis is in. Touchdown, Bills. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Prater for the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Jaguars 3.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. They juked him. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Good work there. You're going to see on play action, they run an out route with the receiver on the outside and let the tight end work the seam in the area beyond him. A great concept, and it leads to a 1st down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big, or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
That one complete downfield to Thomas. Touchdown, Jaguars! Brian Thomas, 55 yards. And the Jaguars are once again back in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. The drive will start with an option going left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Allen now looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Allen to throw it.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Antonio Johnson.
And the Jags will take over here just shy of the 30. Washington in motion left. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Open man is Myers. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
ETN up the middle.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And they'll go again with ETN.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And here come the Bills.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
2 yards on the pickup.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Fair catch.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And now out come the Jags.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. First and 10 upcoming. Now ETN to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
His throw incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now Lawrence.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was third down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to first down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Thomas brings it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On first and 10, it's ETN.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go. Straight ahead, ETN. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up third and 6. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A 41-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Cam Little to kick off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. They run the counter with Cook. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
First down, Bills.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. That's caught out wide by Cooks. So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. In motion, the tight end. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Motion man is Shakir. Now Allen. And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 16. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before. That's my turn now to make the big play. And that's exactly what he did.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback, and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping it air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with him.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This taken in by Kincaid. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run for it with Davis. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Ray Davis with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll look to ETN to start things out. Oh, good move. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 92 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
They go play action with Lawrence.
And he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Lawrence on the sneak. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
Lawrence now to throw after that last run.
That's complete into the hands of Myers. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
Now Lawrence to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Cam Little on for the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they have regained the lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bills going to take over again on offense. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off the play fake. Allen has his man. It's Shakir. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
On the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Fair catch, signaled for and
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
At their own
And they're not going to play this
line.
conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a gain of 8.
99 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best block.
And he will make it back to the line of scrimmage, but that is all. 4th down coming up as we reach the 2-minute warning.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially fouled on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
10 yards on the pickup.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing now is Allen. Open man, it's Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. Now it's Allen. That's again complete to Palmer. And he's got this down to the 35. This duo locked in. 14 yards there and a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Oh, nice move. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
A good position to be in here, second and inches.
Allen going to throw. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Palmer, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Bills will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first two quarters.
16.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. A nice little juke. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. On play action, Lawrence. Now he'll tuck this and run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
It's a gain of 11.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion right here, Washington. Now Lawrence. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Washington. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
In motion right is Thomas. Here's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Myers. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now 2nd and 5. From midfield now, Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Lawrence will throw.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Allen. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Allen now looks to throw. Now he's good. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Emmanuel Ogba that time, able to drop him for a loss.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
This is taken at the 23.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 37. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Lawrence to throw.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. And tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Now Allen. Setting up the screen for Cook. And boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On the counter, ETN. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Got an open man, it's Washington. Completion good for 14 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
A gain of 14 yards brings up 3rd down.
Lawrence on the sneak.
And he is going to have a Jags first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 5.
Now Thomas will come in motion right.
Now Lawrence.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Slot man moves right.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Back to the ground with ETN. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, right back to ETN.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
And 3 yards to go.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
And they'll try and throw forward with Lawrence. That is caught. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete.
A gain of 7 that time. Second goal.
Number 7, Brian Thomas Jr. A gain of 7 brings up second and goal at the 2-yard line.
ETN trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, now we first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. Lawrence on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Jaguars have retaken a third-quarter lead.
Successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 5.
Bills 21.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling with this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Here's Allen to throw it. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On play action, Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
To the air, Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
To throw, it's Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 24-yard line. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
A gain of 22 yards. First down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Cook up the gut.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. Now Allen.
This to the tight end, Kincaid.
2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Josh Palmer with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bills answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3.
Matt Prater.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And ETN going to have a Jags 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
ETN once more.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Allen.
Shakir hauls it in.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. Ooh, the juke. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. Counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 2.
Allen. That is caught. Kincaid with it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
They'll run with Cook. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Allen going to throw. Now, oh no, he lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Prater's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Gregory Rousseau works his way in for the stop and the loss.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Here's Lawrence.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He's got Thomas yet again complete. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards that time.
But sometimes, Brent, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion.
Another tote for Etienne.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Gregory Rousseau able to bring him down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd down and 8.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
He gets it to Thomas. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A give to Etienne running right.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Lawrence drops it underneath for Tootin. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Here's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Etienne.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Here's Lawrence.
On the RP, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Jaguars are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th.
Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Allen and the Bills now down by 1. 1:25 to play. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. Throwing, Allen. Setting up the screen for Cook. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Allen. They'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
First down, Buffalo.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Here's Allen. That is caught by Shakir.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1 yard. First down, Bills.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Now Allen.
And this is Cook with a grab. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Allen running right on the option.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Now 1st and goal.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
So now Allen and the Bills going to stay out and go for 2.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Lawrence.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we